Greetings and the best of salutations. Um, just want to share a bit with you in this wise. I have often said that I labor in the field of life transitional endeavors, trying to make an impact wherever I go, to be an inspiration to myself as well as others. I am hoping that society in which we live and I myself do not become a detriment to my own demise, my own downfall. And anytime there is a downfall, um, it is a lack of accountability. It is moral culture decline. Yes, a messenger in the message, or a message, a Messiah under the Gnostics, uh, associated with fire, and fire is associated with passion. Um, and also fire can refine you, and it is a element of the universe. Messiah, a fact as of yet to be proven, moving beyond reasonable doubt. An environment of misgiving, doubt, and suspicion. The message of reason beyond a reasonable doubt. Many religious teachings deal with the word belief and faith. Faith is a common occurrence, something like a phenomenon. This, I would like to, instead of say believers, I like to use the word behaviors. In the law of I know of the land of North America, the term called reasonable, beyond reasonable doubt, a uh, doubt is a legal burden of proof. Um, is it so that people place unreasonable and unnecessary burdens on each other when it comes to social comparisons, social economic status, entitlements, labeling? The legal burden of proof required to affirm a conviction in a criminal case. I always say that many are suffering from SDLD, social disorder learning disability, feelings of inadequacy, alienation, discrepancy, grievances, differences slash indifferences. Those are 5.5 learning disabilities. But living in an environment of misgivings and doubt, suspicion, you know, suspicious of one another. Because of the law, the legal burden that has been placed to even justify uh, one's position to take advantage of another. They have in certain laws disclaimers. In the society, It has certain where you borrow money and you have to pay it back on interest to further put people in debt. It's a legal burden that is put on people, and the people who come up with it out of their mind, they are dedicated to that. It is a conviction that they stand on, injustifiable by a law. Law should come to remedy something. But the conviction in a criminal case, a crime, the biggest crime that one could commit to me is fraud. You say that you're able to come through on something that you're unable to come through, and it puts you at an advantage and put the other person at a disadvantage. Fraud, it creates fatalism. You think worse, and it creates fatalities of war, because for me the war is psychological and the battlegrounds is ideological over one's philosophical views. The criminal case, so this means that the prosecution must convince the jury that there is no other reasonable explanation. And who is the jury? It said that we've been judged by the jury of our peers. Peer, you can go to the pier and look over. It also it could be associated with perception. And perception possibly is not reality, but is on its way to reality. Or it could be based on an automatic distorted thought of reasoning with one's emotion, and which means one become unrealistic, romanticized. But this is a burden that has been placed, a legal burden that is placed on the society through media, press, and television. At the expense of not only burden the people, but subjecting them to a matter of being enslaved and be entertained by things that they cannot grasp nor understand. So the jury, that there is no other reasonable explanation that one comes that come from the evidence presented at a trial. This is a trial, displaying of existence. Trial and error leads to personal discovery. Some religions call it a day of reckoning, where your accomplishments and your limitations and your failures will be revealed. But this message, or a Messiah, a fact as of yet to be proven beyond reasonable doubt, when it comes to the legal burden of an environment of misgivings, environment of doubt and suspicion one for another. One objects to that. When one objects to that objective, it is due to the fact that they have seen each other as threats to one another. One see themselves as see themselves as threat to one another, then he or she is not at peace. An environment and a people that is not at peace. The evidence of the message, or a message, Messiah, or message, a fact yet to be proven to beyond reasonable doubt. Think that which has been lost when we lost our ability, logically lost our ability to learn how to reason with one another, and reason from the premise of conversation, and reason with progression rather than regression. The evidence as defined, available body of facts. For me, facts are just a sign condensed becomes a symbol, symbolic. Facts are just symbolic of information, indicating, so it is pointing to something. It is guiding you to something. It is taking you somewhere. Whether a belief or a proposition is true or valid. So it is the result of one seeking validation. A message from a messenger. Messiah, a fact yet to be proven. The fire burns. It is kindling. One is looking for validation. The message, or a message of a messenger, moving beyond reasonable doubt. A fact as of yet to be proven. Let's look at it. When you deal with something that is physiological and psychological, it is an image that reflects, and it must equate in a manner, in a way in which how we learn to interpret and live in this reality, this world. How do we interpret? In the relationship with this plane of existence, this world, and one with another, has it placed a burden or created an environment of doubt and misgiving as a legal burden? Many know about predatory loans. Become predators and prey, create an environment of suspicion and doubt due to misgivings. It made it legal to keep people in debt. So, this physiological and psychological image that one projects on this plane of existence in relationship to this reality in one with another. The physiological and psychological makeup, being a part of this material world, it teaches us beyond reasonable doubt of the evidence that we are meant to be here. That we have a reason for being, to be here. And what is that reason for being? It is to communicate a language that is to be understood and to bring out the understanding which must be understood, that we have a reason for being. That's why we're here. Being is a ever-evolving process. And establishing that reason for being, as energy and elements come together, and as the molecules or the energy of our body, I'm not no physicist, but it brings us together. The sperm mixed over in the evolutionary process to come out to be human with the skin, our eyes, our nose. All species has a reason for being. How we interpret that reason for being in this reality, there lies the problem. But it is through the language. And once we understand the language, that what must be understood is that labor, this labor, that mental labor precedes physical labor. Then we know that it is the mind, the faculty, the ability to reason. Makes us who we are and where we are going to go in life. And once we understand, and that what must be understood, some call it the cause and effect. Until next time, remove all doubt. The evidence points by our physiological and psychological makeup. It affirms that we are meant to be here. Some say, use it in their language, in the Constitution, that we are endowed with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Happiness is the totality of one's well-being. So the message from a messenger is to remove all doubt. Nothing else is to be said. Talk to you.